They wondered why humans sent just one ship, until they witnessed it part. The message arrived on a Tuesday. It came through every communication channel simultaneously: radio, digital networks, even old television frequencies. No one could explain how the aliens had managed to bypass Earth's security protocols. "We are the Viridian Collective," the message began in perfect English. "We represent 7 spacefaring species who share resources and knowledge across 38 star systems. We have observed your civilization for some time and believe you are ready for first contact. We invite you to send representatives to our assembly." Jack Summers stared at the wall of screens in the United Nations Space Command headquarters. At 53, with gray starting to show at his temples, he had spent most of his life preparing for this moment, though he never truly believed it would come during his lifetime. "They're giving us coordinates," said Olivia Grant, her fingers moving rapidly across her tablet. The xenolinguistics specialist had been called in hours after the message arrived. "And specifications for their communications technology so we can respond." General Harris, the head of the UNSC, looked around the room at Earth's hastily assembled response team. "Opinions?" "It could be a trap," said Noah Parker, the youngest person at the table. The tactical officer had earned his place, through brilliance rather than experience. "We should proceed with extreme caution." Olivia shook her head. "If they wanted to harm us, they could have done it without announcing themselves. Their technology is clearly far beyond ours." "I agree," Jack said. "But Lieutenant Parker isn't wrong about caution. The question isn't whether we respond, it's how." The debate lasted for weeks. Nations argued over who would represent Earth. Scientists debated what technology could be shared. Military leaders worried about showing weakness. Religious figures contemplated what this meant for humanity's place in the universe. In the end, the decision surprised everyone. "One ship," General Harris announced to the assembled world leaders. "We send one ship." The aliens' response came 24 hours later. Their message contained what human linguists interpreted as confusion, possibly even insult. "We expected a delegation befitting your status as a newly recognized spacefaring species," the translation read. "Your response suggests either arrogance or naivety. We will nevertheless prepare for your arrival." What the Viridian Collective didn't know, what most humans didn't know, was that the ship being prepared wasn't just any vessel. The UES Defiant sat in its construction bay, hidden beneath the lunar surface. Jack walked along its sleek hull, marveling at how something so revolutionary could look so ordinary from the outside. "She doesn't look like much," said Samantha Reeves, appearing beside him. The chief engineer had dark circles under her eyes from working 3 days straight. "That's the point." "Will she be ready in time?" Jack asked. Samantha patted the hull affectionately. "She's ready now. The question is, are we?" 2 days later, the crew of 43 assembled in the Defiant's main briefing room. Jack looked at the faces before him. Scientists, diplomats, soldiers, and specialists, all the best Earth had to offer. "You all know why you're here," he began. "In 3 weeks we depart for the Viridian Assembly. We will be the first humans to meet intelligent alien life face to face." He paused, letting the weight of those words sink in. "The collective has expressed surprise that we're sending only one ship. Let them be surprised. Let them underestimate us. It may be our greatest advantage." Ambassador William Hayes stood up. The tall, distinguished diplomat had represented Earth in countless international crises. "Our mission is complex," he said. "We need to establish peaceful relations while protecting Earth's interests. We need to learn everything we can about their technology, culture, and intentions. And we need to do all this without revealing too much about ourselves." Noah Parker looked skeptical. "They've been watching us. They already know about us. They know what we've allowed to be seen," Jack corrected. "There's a difference." Dr. Alan Martinez, the ship's physician, spoke next. His military bearing betrayed his background despite his medical credentials. "What about biological concerns? We'll be exposed to 7 completely alien species." "The Defiance isolation protocols are the best ever designed," Samantha assured him. "And the ship's adaptive systems can analyze and neutralize any biological threat within minutes." As the meeting continued, billions of humans watched news reports about the upcoming mission. They saw footage of the UES Defiant leaving its lunar dock, an impressive but relatively conventional-looking spacecraft. What they didn't see was what happened once the ship cleared Earth's monitoring systems. Deep in space, Jack gave the order. Initiate full systems activation. The ship hummed with new energy. Hidden panels opened. Dormant systems came online. Status report, Jack called out. Shield systems online, Noah reported from Tactical. Adaptive intelligence activated, said Susan Brooks, the AI specialist. Molecular reconfiguration ready, Samantha added. Communications at full capacity, Kevin Mitchell confirmed. Jack nodded, satisfied. Send the message to Earth. The Eagle has spread its wings, they'll understand. Millions of miles away, 3 cloaked Viridian ships tracked the human vessel's progress. The alien observers exchanged confused communications as their instruments detected energy readings that shouldn't be possible from a species at Earth's development stage. Their ship is changing, one observer reported back to the assembly. We don't understand how. On the Defiance bridge, Jack watched the stars stretch before them as the ship accelerated to speeds that human public science considered theoretical. They're following us, Noah said, monitoring the sensors. 3 ships, trying to stay hidden. Jack smiled. Good. Let them watch. Let them wonder. He turned to Olivia. Send a message to our escorts. Say we're looking forward to meeting the assembly in 3 months. 3 months? Olivia questioned. With the drive at full capacity, we'll be there in 3 weeks. I know, Jack said. Let's not spoil all our surprises at once. As the UES Defiant continued its journey toward the Viridian assembly, the crew prepared for humanity's debut on the galactic stage. None of them could predict exactly what would happen when they arrived, but they all understood one thing clearly. The Viridians had invited humans to join their community expecting a species that would fit neatly into their established order. They were about to discover just how wrong they were. They wondered why humans sent just one ship, until they witnessed it part. 2 weeks into their journey, the UES Defiant maintained its deliberate slow pace. The ship could have reached the Viridian assembly in days using its full capabilities, but Captain Jack Summers had his orders. Let the aliens wonder, let them watch. Our shadows are still with us, Noah Parker reported during the morning briefing. The tactical officer pointed to 3 blinking dots on the sensor display. They're keeping their distance, but they're definitely tracking our every move. Jack nodded. Good. Keep an eye on them, but don't let them know we've spotted them. Life aboard the Defiant settled into a routine. The crew trained, studied the limited information they had about the Viridian species, and prepared for every possible scenario they might face. In the ship's main engineering section, Samantha Reeves worked on fine-tuning the revolutionary propulsion system. Her hands moved with practiced precision, adjusting settings that would make no sense to most engineers on Earth. You're pushing it too hard, a voice said behind her. She turned to see Dr. Alan Martinez watching her work. I know what I'm doing, she replied, not slowing down. This system can handle twice the output I'm asking for. Alan shook his head. I meant you, not the engine. You haven't slept in 36 hours. Samantha paused. There's too much to do. And we need you at your best to do it, Alan said. Captain's orders. Medical checkup, then 6 hours of sleep. No arguments. As Samantha reluctantly followed the doctor out, neither noticed the slight fluctuation in the energy readings on her monitor. On the diplomatic deck, Ambassador William Hayes reviewed cultural briefings on each of the 7 Viridian species. The Krath were militaristic, insectoid beings who valued strength and hierarchy. The Tellurians resembled tall, willowy plants and had been scholars and scientists for thousands of years. The Meridians remained the most mysterious, rarely seen, communicating mostly through intermediaries. Hayes rubbed his temples. At 62, he was the oldest person on the ship. He had represented Earth in countless difficult negotiations, but nothing had prepared him for this. Ambassador? Olivia Grant knocked softly at his door. I've finished the updated language protocols for the initial greeting ceremony. Hayes looked up. Any surprises? Several, she admitted. The Krath communicate partially through pheromones, which we obviously can't replicate, and the Tellurians consider certain sound frequencies to be sacred. If we accidentally use them, in regular speech it could be seen as blasphemy. Hayes sighed. How are we supposed to navigate all this? One step at a time, Olivia said with a small smile. That's why I'm here. Meanwhile, in the ship's observation lounge, Jack stared out at the stars. He heard the door open behind him but didn't turn around. Penny for your thoughts, Captain? It was Kevin Mitchell, the communications officer. Just thinking about history, Jack replied. How many moments truly change everything? First fire, then the wheel, writing, electricity, spaceflight, and now this. Kevin nodded. My grandmother was there when humans first walked on Mars. She said everyone knew the world would never be the same. This feels bigger. It is bigger, Jack agreed. This isn't just about our world anymore. Their conversation was interrupted by an alert from Jack's communicator. Captain to the bridge immediately. When Jack arrived, Noah was already reviewing sensor data. Something's happening with our shadows, sir. They've changed formation and accelerated. Show me, Jack ordered. The main screen displayed the 3 Viridian ships now moving in a tight triangular pattern and closing distance with the Defiant. They're scanning us, Susan Brooks reported from her station. Much more intensively than before. Jack frowned. Did we leak something? Give them a reason to be suspicious? Negative, Noah said. But he hesitated. Speak freely, Lieutenant. Sir, I think they might be getting impatient. We've been traveling for 2 weeks at conventional speeds. Maybe they expected more from the species they invited to join their collective. Jack considered this. Olivia, prepare a message. Tell them we appreciate their escort and look forward to arriving at the assembly in how much longer at our current speed? About 2.5 months, sir, Noah reported. In 2.5 months, Jack continued. Keep it polite but offer no explanations. As Olivia crafted the message, the bridge crew exchanged glances. They all knew the real plan, but maintaining the deception was becoming more difficult. In another part of the galaxy, the Viridian Assembly was in session. Representatives of all 7 species gathered in the massive chamber orbiting a neutron star. The humans continue their journey at minimal speed, reported Zorthal, the Krath Supreme Commander. His segmented exoskeleton clicked as he moved. They possess no technology of value. I propose we reconsider their invitation. Patience, countered Alindra, the Tellurian elder. Her leafy appendages rustled softly. They are young as a species. We must give them time to grow, or to show their true nature, came a voice from the shadows. The rare comment from the Meridian. Representative silenced the chamber. Continue observation. Back on the Defiant, an alarm sounded throughout the ship. What's happening? Jack demanded as he rushed to the bridge. Engineering reported a power surge in the main drive, Noah explained. Samantha is handling it, but what? Sir, the Viridians definitely detected it. They're moving to surround us. Jack made a quick decision. Susan, activate Defense Protocol Alpha. Don't deploy anything, just be ready. Within moments, Samantha's voice came over the comm. Captain, we have a problem. The adaptive matrix is destabilizing. I can fix it, but I need to take the conventional engines offline for about 3 minutes. Jack looked at the tactical display showing the approaching Viridian ships. We don't have 3 minutes before they're on top of us. Then I suggest we stop pretending, sir, Samantha replied. It's time to show them a little of what we can do. Jack took a deep breath. This wasn't the plan. They were supposed to maintain the deception until they reached the assembly. But plans changed. All hands prepare for acceleration, he announced. Samantha, bring the real engines online. Susan, stand by on defense systems. Noah, give me a Course that will impress our visitors without revealing everything. The crew moved with practiced efficiency, each person knowing exactly what to do despite the change in plans. The Viridians are hailing us, Kevin reported. Let them wait, Jack said. Let's give them something to think about first. As the 3 alien ships closed in, the UES Defiant suddenly shimmered. Its hull seemed to ripple for a moment. Then, in a flash of blue-white light that wasn't supposed to exist in vacuum, it vanished. One moment the human ship was there. The next it was 1,000 miles away, leaving the Viridian vessel scanning empty space. Now, Jack said with a small smile, we can answer their call. They wondered why humans sent just one ship. Until they witnessed it. Part 3. The Viridian assembly station hung in space like a giant metal flower. Its central hub connected to 7 large petal-shaped structures, each designed to accommodate one of the member species. The station orbited a neutron star, drawing energy from its powerful radiation. The UES Defiant approached slowly, all advanced systems once again hidden. After their brief display of technology 2 weeks ago, Captain Jack Summers had ordered a return to their original plan. Let the Viridians wonder what they had seen. Let them guess at what else humans might be capable of. They're scanning us again, Noah Parker reported from his tactical station. Very thorough scans this time. Jack nodded. Let them look. They won't find anything we don't want them to. Ambassador William Hayes entered the bridge, dressed in formal diplomatic attire. Are we ready, Captain? As ready as we'll ever be, Jack replied. The question is, are they ready for us? The main view screen showed dozens of ships surrounding the station, representing all 7 Viridian species. Most were much larger than the Defiant, with designs as varied as their creators. Some were sleek and organic-looking, others angular and mechanical. Message from the assembly, Kevin announced from communications. They're sending docking instructions and welcoming protocols. Any mention of our little disappearing act? Jack asked. None, sir, Kevin replied. But the message is colder than previous communications. They're suspicious, Olivia said, looking up from her analysis. The language has shifted. More formal, less welcoming. Good, Jack said. A little healthy suspicion might make them take us more seriously. As the Defiant approached its assigned docking port, the crew made final preparations. The diplomatic team reviewed greeting protocols. Security officers checked their non-lethal weapons. Scientists prepared their equipment for gathering data. When the airlock finally opened, Jack led the small greeting party into the station. Ambassador Hayes walked beside him with Olivia, Noah, and Dr. Alan Martinez following close behind. They were met by a reception committee that included representatives from each Viridian species. The sight was overwhelming, even for people who had prepared for this moment. The Krath stood nearly 7 feet tall, their insect-like bodies covered in hard blue-black exoskeletons. The Tellurians swayed gently, their plant-like forms emitting a soft glow. Other species were equally alien, some with multiple limbs, others seemingly made of shifting liquid, one that appeared to be a cloud of gas contained within a transparent suit. Welcome to the assembly, said the Tellurian elder Alindra. Her voice was melodious, translated by the small devices the humans wore. We are honored by your presence. Ambassador Hayes stepped forward and performed the greeting they had practiced. The people of Earth thank you for your invitation. We come in peace and friendship. The formalities continued as they walked through the station's central hub. The humans' eyes darted everywhere, taking in the incredible architecture and technology. Other aliens stopped to stare at them. Humans were just as exotic to them as they were to the humans. Your journey was longer than necessary, said the Krath representative Zorthal. His voice was harsh even through the translator. Your propulsion technology is primitive. Jack kept his face neutral. We're still developing our capabilities. Yet you disappeared from our escort sensors. Zorthal continued. How do you explain that? A simple sensor malfunction, perhaps, Jack suggested. or a quirk of physics we don't yet understand. The Krath's compound eyes focused on Jack. You do not lie well, human. I was not aware I was being tested, Jack replied evenly. The tension was broken by Alindra. Come. The council awaits you in the assembly chamber. The assembly chamber was enormous, a perfect dome with seating for thousands. Most of the seats were filled with representatives from across the Viridian Collective. At the center was a raised platform where the 7 main council members sat. The human delegation was escorted to a small area at the base of the platform. They stood there, watched by countless alien eyes. Representatives of Earth, began the council leader, a being of shifting colors and shapes that the humans had learned was called a prismatic. You stand before the assembled wisdom of the Viridian Collective. For 8,000 years we have maintained peace and prosperity among our worlds. Now you seek to join us. We are honored by the opportunity, Hayes replied. Yet you send only one ship, the prismatic continued. A small vessel with minimal capabilities. Why? Hayes looked at Jack, who nodded slightly. They had prepared for this question. Earth is still young in terms of space travel, Hayes explained. We thought it best to send a single ship that represents our best efforts, rather than many ships that might not be as worthy of your notice. Murmurs spread through the chamber. The council members exchanged glances. A diplomatic answer, said Zorthal. But we have questions about your world, your capabilities, your intentions. What began as a welcome ceremony quickly turned into an interrogation. The council fired questions at the humans about Earth's governments, military strength, scientific advancements, and resource management. Ambassador Hayes answered carefully, revealing just enough to be polite while keeping Earth's true capabilities hidden. Jack noticed how the questions became increasingly focused on military matters. You have conflicts on your world, Zorthal stated. Wars. Divisions. How can you join a peaceful collective when you cannot even find peace among yourselves? We are working toward peace, Hayes replied. Our differences make us stronger. They make you dangerous, Zorthal countered. From the shadows at the edge of the council platform, a figure moved slightly. Jack was the only one who noticed the Meridian representative, watching silently. The questioning continued for hours. The humans remained diplomatic but became increasingly aware of the underlying hostility, particularly from the Krath. Finally, as the session was about to end, alarms sounded throughout the station. What's happening? Jack asked. The council members were receiving information through their own communication devices. The prismatic leader looked troubled. A Krath battle cruiser has entered the system, the leader announced. It claims to have detected weapons signatures from the human vessel. All eyes turned to the human delegation. That's impossible, Jack said firmly. The UES Defiant is a diplomatic vessel. Then you will not object to an inspection, Zorthal said. To verify your claims. Jack straightened his back. With respect, Counselor. Under Earth diplomatic protocols, our ship is sovereign territory. We cannot allow an inspection without proper authorization from our government. The tension in the chamber was palpable. This council has the authority to order such an inspection, Zorthal insisted, and we have the right to refuse, Jack replied. As they argued, Jack noticed the Meridian representative moving closer to the prismatic leader, seemingly whispering something. The leader's colors shifted rapidly. We will adjourn for now, the prismatic announced suddenly. The human delegation will be escorted to their quarters. We will continue this discussion after a period of reflection. As they were led away, Noah leaned close to Jack. Sir, I'm getting emergency signals from the ship. Something's wrong, Jack glanced around at their Viridian escorts. We're being played, he said quietly. Get ready for things to get complicated. They wondered why humans sent just one ship. Until they witnessed it part. Jack paced the small room where the human delegation had been taken. It was comfortable enough, with furniture adjusted to human proportions, but the doors were locked. They weren't guests anymore. They were prisoners. Any contact with the ship? Jack asked Noah, who was working on his communication device. Nothing direct, Noah replied. But I'm picking up emergency signals. They're coded, but I can tell they're coming from Samantha. What's she saying? Someone tried to board the Defiant. The automated system stopped them, but they're still trying. Jack clenched his jaw. The Krath? Probably, Noah said. The signals are coming at odd intervals. I think she's hiding in the maintenance tubes. Olivia and Ambassador Hayes sat at a small table reviewing what they knew about the Viridian legal system. Dr. Martinez checked the small medical kit he always carried. We need to get back to the ship, Jack said. The doors are locked, Captain, Hayes reminded him. And even if we could get out, we're in the middle of an alien space station surrounded by their military. Jack smiled slightly. Ambassador, did you really think Earth would send its representatives into space without a backup plan? Before Hayes could respond, the door slid open. Commander Lisa Rodriguez, the Defiant's security chief, stood there with 2 security officers. Behind them lay 3 unconscious Krath guards. Captain, we need to move, Lisa said urgently. The situation is deteriorating fast. As they hurried through the corridors, Lisa explained, after you left for the assembly, a Krath team tried to board the Defiant. When our shields prevented them, they claimed it was proof we were hiding weapons. The Krath battlecruiser is now demanding we power down all systems for inspection. And if we refuse? Jack asked, already knowing the answer. They're threatening to destroy the ship, Lisa said. Samantha and the others are holding them off, but we need to get back there now. They turned a corner and found themselves face to face with a group of Tellurians. Jack tensed, ready for conflict, but the plant-like aliens made no move to stop them. This way, said one of the Tellurians. We can get you to your ship. Jack hesitated, suspicious of the sudden help. Not all of us agree with the Krath, the Tellurian explained. Some of us believe you deserve a fair chance. With no better options, Jack nodded. Lead the way. The Tellurians guided them through less traveled corridors. As they moved, Jack noticed more and more aliens watching them. Not just Tellurians and Krath, but representatives of all the Viridian species. News of the humans' escape was spreading. Why are the Krath so determined to inspect our ship? Jack asked their Tellurian guide. They fear what they don't understand, the alien replied. And they don't understand how your small ship could have disappeared from sensors. They believe you have weapons technology you're hiding. Do you believe that? Olivia asked. The Tellurian's leaves rustled in what might have been their version of a shrug. I believe there is more to your species than you have shown. Whether that is a threat depends on your intentions. They reached a transport hub where small vessels moved between the station's sections. Their Tellurian guide pointed to one of the transports. This will take you to your docking bay. As they boarded, Jack turned to the alien. Thank you. We are not all like the Krath, the Tellurian said. Remember that, whatever happens next. The transport sped through the station. Through its windows, they could see ships moving into position around the assembly. The situation was escalating quickly. When they reached the docking bay, they found chaos. A team of Krath soldiers was attempting to cut through the Defiant's airlock, while station security tried to maintain order. Energy weapons were drawn, but not yet fired. This has gone too far, Jack said quietly. Then louder. This is Captain Summers of the UES Defiant. Stand down and step away from my ship. The Krath turned, weapons raised. Their leader stepped forward, mandibles clicking. You will submit to inspection or face destruction. Under whose authority? Jack demanded. The full council hasn't authorized this action. The security of the collective is our authority, the Krath leader replied. Your ship contains technology you have not declared. That makes you a threat. Jack stepped forward, hands raised in a peaceful gesture. Let's talk about this. There's no need for... An explosion rocked the station. Alarms blared as smoke filled the docking bay. Everyone was thrown off balance. What was that? Hayes shouted, over the noise. A station-wide announcement came over the communication system. Attack in Section 4, all security personnel report. The Krath leader pointed at Jack. This is your doing. We've been with you the whole time, Jack protested. How could we have caused that? But the Krath weren't listening. They raised their weapons again, but before they could fire, A new voice cut through the chaos. "Stand down, all of you." The voice belonged to the Prismatic Council leader, who had just entered the docking bay with several other council members, including Alindra the Tellurian and, surprisingly, the shadowy form of a Meridian. "This situation has become unacceptable," the Prismatic said. "Violence in the assembly is forbidden." "The humans are hiding weapons," the Krath leader insisted. "The explosion proves it." "The explosion was in the Krath diplomatic quarter, the Kao," Prismatic replied. "Far from anything the humans could have reached." This news caused confusion. Jack exchanged glances with Noah, who shrugged slightly. "Nevertheless," the Krath continued, "their ship must be inspected. It contains technology beyond what they have claimed." The Prismatic's colors shifted in what seemed like irritation. "Very well. To resolve this matter, I ask Captain Summers, will you allow a neutral inspection team with representatives from all council species to verify your ship carries no weapons of mass destruction?" Jack considered their options. The diplomatic approach wasn't working. The Krath were determined to create a conflict. It was time for a new strategy. "With respect, Council Leader," Jack said firmly, "no one will board the UES Defiant without proper authorization from Earth. Our ship's defenses will prevent any forced entry." "You dare to threaten us?" the Krath leader snarled. "Not a threat," Jack replied calmly. "A fact." As if on cue, the Defiant's hull began to glow with a soft blue light. A barely visible field extended around the ship, pushing back those who stood too close to it. "What is this?" the Prismatic asked, colors swirling in surprise. "This is why Earth sent just one ship," Jack said. "The Defiant has certain capabilities." The shield expanded slightly, its energy humming. Even the Krath stepped back. Kevin's voice came through Jack's communicator. "Captain, we're receiving a transmission from Earth. General Ward wants to speak with the Council directly." Jack looked at the assembled aliens. "It seems Earth has something to say about this situation. I suggest we all listen." The Council members exchanged looks. Finally, the Prismatic nodded. "We will hear your general." As they moved to a secure communication area, Jack caught Noah's eye and nodded slightly. The plan was changing, but perhaps it was time to show the Viridian Collective exactly what they were dealing with, and why Earth had sent just one ship. They wondered why humans sent just one ship, until they witnessed it. Part 5. The communication chamber fell silent as the holographic image of General Daniel Ward appeared. The Earth military commander stood tall, his uniform decorated with medals. That meant nothing to the aliens but signified authority to human eyes. "Greetings to the Viridian Council," General Ward said. "I am General Daniel Ward, Earth Defense Command." The Prismatic Council leader's colors shifted in what might have been surprise. "We were told Earth has no unified military." "We have many things you were not told about," Ward replied. His eyes found Jack. "Captain Summers, status report." The Krath attempted to board the Defiant without permission, Jack said. "They're now demanding inspection, claiming we have hidden weapons." Ward's expression hardened. "I see. And has the Council authorized this action?" "No," the Prismatic admitted. "This was initiated by the Krath without full Council approval." Zorthal stepped forward, his insectoid form tense with anger. "The humans have technology they did not disclose. They are a threat." "Is that so?" Ward asked. "Captain Summers, I believe it's time." "Authorization code. Phoenix Rising." Jack nodded. "Understood, sir." He tapped his communicator. "Samantha, Susan, initiate Phoenix protocol." Through the chamber's windows, they could see the UES Defiant. The blue shield surrounding it pulsed once, twice, then brightened. And then, before the astonished eyes of the Viridian Council, the ship began to change. Its hull seemed to flow like liquid metal. Sections unfolded, revealing new structures hidden inside. What had appeared to be a single modest vessel was transforming into something much more complex. "What is happening?" Alindra asked, leaves trembling. "You wondered why Earth sent just one ship," Jack said quietly. Now you'll see. On screens throughout the chamber, data appeared showing the Defiant's true capabilities. The ship wasn't merely a vessel. It was humanity's most ambitious project. A self-contained ecosystem with adaptive technology, capable of transforming into multiple configurations. The UES Defiant can become whatever we need it to be, General Ward explained. A diplomatic vessel, a research station, a fleet of smaller craft, or if necessary, a planetary defense system. As he spoke, the Defiant completed its transformation. It now resembled a small city in space, with sections clearly designed for different functions. Several smaller vessels detached from its main structure, taking up defensive positions. "Impossible," whispered one of the council members. "No species at your development stage could create such technology." "Yet here we are," Ward replied, "and we have not even shown you everything the Defiant can do." The chamber doors opened, and Susan Brooks entered with Samantha Reeves. Susan carried a data device which she handed to Jack. "Evidence, Captain," she said. "We found it." Jack took the device and placed it on the central table. A holographic display activated, showing records of communications between Krath military leaders. "While you were busy trying to board our ship," Jack said to Zorthal, "we were accessing your secure networks. These records show the Krath have been planning to sabotage our visit from the beginning. The evidence was damning. The records showed Krath leaders discussing how to provoke the humans, create a pretext for seizing their ship, and ultimately use the situation to increase Krath influence within the collective." "The explosion in the Krath quarter?" Jack continued. "Your own people set it up to blame us, all to justify an inspection of our ship." Zorthal's mandibles clicked rapidly. "This is fabricated." "The data patterns match known Krath encryption," said the prismatic, colors now dark with anger. "These appear genuine." For the first time, the Meridian representative spoke, its voice like whispered wind. "The Krath have long sought dominance. This is merely their latest attempt." The council chamber erupted in arguments. Jack stepped back, watching the Viridian species turn against each other. The plan had worked perfectly, perhaps too perfectly. "This isn't what we wanted," he said, quietly towards Hologram. "Sometimes you have to break things to rebuild them better," Ward replied. "The collective needs to see itself clearly before it can truly welcome a new species." As the arguments continued, Alindra approached Jack. "You knew about the Krath conspiracy before you arrived, didn't you?" Jack nodded. "We've been monitoring Viridian communications for years. We knew about the collective long before your official first contact message." "Years?" Elindra's leaves shuddered. "But how? Our nearest observation post is light years from your solar system." Jack exchanged a glance with Ward, who nodded slightly. "Human technology has advanced rapidly in recent decades, particularly since we recovered a damaged alien vessel that crashed on our moon 80 years ago." This revelation silenced the entire chamber. "A Meridian scout ship," said the shadowy Meridian representative, moving forward. "Lost during an exploration mission to your system." Jack nodded. "Its pilot died in the crash. But the technology survived. We learned. We adapted. We prepared." "For what?" asked the prismatic. "For this moment," General Ward answered. "The moment when humanity would join the galactic community, not as junior partners to be guided, but as equals to be respected." The Defiant, fully transformed now, hung in space like a shining city. Its true purpose was finally clear, not just a ship, but a statement, a declaration that humans would enter the galactic stage on their own terms. "The vessel you sent was a test," the Meridian said. "It wasn't a question, of course," Ward replied. "Did you think we would reveal our true capabilities without first understanding your intentions? The Defiant is just one of many such ships we've built. Its mission was to evaluate whether the Viridian collective would be trustworthy allies. And what have you decided?" asked the prismatic. Jack stepped forward. "That depends on what happens next. The Krath conspiracy has been exposed. What will the council do about it?" The council members looked at each other. Even Zorthal remained silent. his plans in ruins. Finally, the prismatic spoke. The collective has existed for 8,000 years by adapting to new challenges. Perhaps it is time for us to adapt again. Its colors shifted to a deep, thoughtful blue. Captain Summers, we would like to begin new negotiations with Earth. As equals, Jack smiled slightly. That was always our hope. As the council members withdrew to discuss their next steps, Jack looked out at the transformed Defiant. Its true purpose had been served, not to intimidate or threaten, but to ensure that humanity's voice would be heard among the stars. The Viridians had wondered why humans sent just one ship. Now they understood. It wasn't a sign of weakness or arrogance. It was because one ship was all they needed to change everything. Ready for the next phase, Captain? Ward asked. Jack nodded, watching as the Defiant continued to reshape itself, adapting to its new role in this changed situation, just as humanity would need to adapt to its new place in the galaxy. Ready, sir, he replied. We always were.